I've competed at super high level in Fortnite and I've played the game for 7 years. And today I'm going to tell you the secrets to escape diamond rank in Fortnite. First of all, stop playing ranked as soon as you hop onto Fortnite. This might sound really weird as this video is about how to escape, but let me explain. If you genuinely want to rank up, you're not going to be able to maximize your points you make in a day without a proper warm-up. And this is the exact reason why when you play football, you're doing shooting practice, or if you're playing darts, professional dart players are throwing for 40 to 45 minutes before they even start competing. So if you could just spend at least 15 to 45 minutes a day playing some box fights or some 1v1s at the bare minimum before hopping into a game, this should be enough to at least allow you to perform at your best. If you're really serious about getting a proper warm-up, I've even made a few different creative maps, including a warm-up one. You can literally just find it by typing Tavens in the search bar on Fortnite. In your first few games, you need to make sure you're at least getting the mid-game, because losing them games at the start is going to hurt you more than you think. Diamond rank is all about consistency, and any of the high ranks, so as soon as you go up to elite and especially champion, if you're not consistent, you're going to get punished very hard. If you watch my Snooty video I uploaded the other day, you will see I was able to escape Diamond 3 after about 15 games or something silly like that. And the reason why wasn't because you lose loads of points, because you really don't lose a load of points in Diamond rank. It was consistency. The more consistent you are, the more points you gain. So Fortnite has something called a consistency bonus. I've briefly touched on this on a few of my other videos, but this means the better you perform in game and the better you play, so the more kills you get and the better placement you finish, the more points you're going to gain when you have a good game, and the less points you lose for dying off spawn. So when people are looking to climb to Unreal rank, they come to me all the time and they say, Taven, I'm getting 10 kills and I'm going up like 10% for it. Or Taven, I just can't seem to gain points when I play and I'm getting loads of kills and stuff like this. And I asked them to do one thing, and I urge you to do this as well if you have Fortnite open right now or when you next load it up. If you have replays on, do this. Go to your replay folder and have a look at your kills and placement for the past 10 games or so. And I say this to people, and every single time they show me it, I see something like 6 off spawn deaths, and then maybe a 10 kill game, or maybe a few kill games here and there, and they wonder why they can't rank up. And it's all down to consistency bonus. Now you know how important this actually is. You're probably asking the question, Taven, you've told me that consistency is important. How can I actually be more consistent in game so I can maximize my points I can get, so I can finally get out of diamond rank? And first thing you need to do is stop the video right there. I was looking at the back end of the YouTube channel, and 96.7% of people who watch my videos frequently are not subscribed. So I have a small favor to ask you. If you've ever enjoyed or found any of my tips helpful, or ever watched my videos, enjoyed the content, please can you hit that subscribe button and support me as a creator? It helps the channel more than I can explain. Warm up. I mentioned this a second ago. Warm up. Once we've done a warm up, the next way we can do this is by reducing RNG. So for those of you wondering why I'm speaking a different language, now talk about RNG. What it stands for is random number generator, and it's pretty much your luck. So what you get out of chests, how many shields you get, all comes down to random number generator, which means all the chests and everything are just randomly generated in the game. And if we can reduce our RNG, we are essentially boosting our luck and maximizing our chances of staying alive. So all pro players, when going into tournaments and stuff, they have coaches that do all the hard work for them off spawn, so they can reduce their RNG massively, increasing their luck, making it easier to win off spawn. And I'm going to go over a few ways they do this. So the first thing you need to do is learn all the chest spawns at your drop spot. The more chests we can open, the more loot we're going to get, so the higher chance of us getting shield and better loot. I land at a building with 4 chests and open 2, then get into a fight. Those 2 other chests could have a shotgun that maybe I don't have, or an extra 50 to 100 shield that I don't currently have, which would have boosted my odds of winning. So taking an extra 2 seconds to loot them chests could have took your win chances from 30% to 60%, or maybe even potentially higher. And that can be the difference between winning and losing in Fortnite. So this is why you need to master one drop spot in Fortnite. Pick a drop spot you like, and people have been asking me recently, do you think this place is a good drop? Do you think this place is good drop? And what I'm going to tell you is every single drop in Fortnite is a good drop. as long as you can learn it. So whatever the drop is in your mind right now, wherever you like to land, have a think about a place you like to land. That place you're thinking of right now, I promise you, that is a very, very good drop, and every single drop on the map is a perfect place, a very good place to land, as long as you can learn it. And if you don't believe me, go into a tournament replay of a finals game and watch where everyone lands. You'll see everyone is scattered around the map, and this is proof that every single place is good. So once you've got your spot, it's now your job to learn it, master it, conquer it, find the best ways to loot it, get the best drops for it, because getting a better drop than everyone else is another way we can boost our chances of winning, and obviously overall being more consistent. Now, we know consistency is key to escape. You're probably wondering how you should be playing to gain points, because no one wants to be playing for the win if going for a 20 kill win is going to get us a lot more points. The same way that no one wants to go for Center Island if there is no loot there. It's a very valid question to ask, but to get to how we should play, let's start from the very start. Off spawn. I've covered most things we need to know about off spawn, like pick one drop spot, learn it, master it. Make sure you're dropping first to be more consistent, but my best advice for off spawn is don't push unless you have good enough loot to put. A good thing to aim for is obviously 100 health, which you start with, as well as 100 shield. This is going to make such a big difference when fighting, and it's actually unbelievable how playing for 100 shield before fighting can actually transform your game altogether. The next thing you should aim for is between 250, preferably 500 mats. So this could be 300 brick, 200 wood, or 100 wood, 100 brick and 300 metal, or whatever it is. You want to aim for a total of 500 mats, and this should be enough mats to go for high ground, peace control, and still do all the different plays you want to do right off spawn. And usually if you have 500 mats, you're gonna have more mats than everyone else at your drop spot, unless they've picked up 3-4 kills and just got a load of scythe. In terms of how you should be fighting your spawn, and obviously answering the question, should you fight off spawn or not? I would say yes. If you know a spot well enough, you should win it like 80-90% of the time anyways, especially if you're playing for that 100 shield and you're looting up before you're getting into fight. If I'm being completely honest, I personally would get super bored ignoring them off spawn fights, so definitely go for them and just make sure you're looted up to do so. Next, moving on to mid game. I think mid game is where you need to be laying off your fights a bit more, especially once you're diamond and when you get into elite and stuff. Fighting a mid game is going to most of the time hurt you more than it's going to help you. So your number one goal is to just get out a diamond rank. The easiest way to escape is just focus on kills end game, avoid mid game kills altogether. But for most people like myself, you might get super bored doing that. So I'm not going to say avoid all mid-game fights, get yourself to zone and all that rubbish that everyone always tells you. What I recommend you do though is properly pick and choose the right fights for you if you're going to do it in mid-game. So always prioritize obviously going to zone first, always prioritize mats, always prioritize having good enough loot to fight, and only fight people when you feel like you have some sort of advantage. So maybe you've got high ground, or you can snipe them beforehand, or there's a third party, or you get some sort of big damage tag. This way you're going to go into each fight with some sort of advantage, making it much easier. For those of you that are maybe not such good fighters as well, third partying is going to be your best friend. I promise you, if you just third party fights rather than starting them, you're going to win a lot more mid-game scenarios than starting the fights, especially if you're not such a great fighter, because a lot of the time when you come to mid-game and you're third partying, you can just go in and just clean up. I recently asked you guys what you're struggling with the most, and people in Diamond said to me they're struggling to control fights in mid-game. So I thought I would help you guys out, but for me to teach you guys how to properly control fights, we need to realize that first of all, to be in control of the fight, you need to have your opponent in somewhat doubt of his own skill, or they need to be in fear of you. For example, if you go into a public match and you see an absolute drone, what are you going to do realistically? You're full aggroing him, you're going to hop in his box, you're just going to kill him absolutely zero fear, because you know you're going to win, you know you're 100 times better than him, you're full of confidence, and you're just going to absolutely destroy him. So in that whole scenario, you've dominated the fight. But if I throw you in a ranked game against a really good player, maybe he hits you down to 50 HP, he's super quick, he's mechanical, he's forcing these pieces into your box, he's doing things you've never even seen before and you can't even hit him. You're going to sit in your box, and you're gonna be in fear of him, which in that case, you're going to start playing super defensive. You might be shaking, you might feel a little bit nervous. So the main way to dominate the fight is to make as little mistakes as we can, because we've all had it where we're destroying someone in a fight, next minute they've max pumped you and you've died somehow. So when we have that health advantage, this is the prime time to be aggressing players, and this is when you have that massive advantage. This is what's going to make people fear you most of the time, having a health advantage. But this is what I see so many diamond players struggle with, and they don't understand the most important thing to make sure we can dominate fights is to make little to no mistakes at all while fighting. So I recommend everyone, after watching this video, go and play some 1v1s, practice your fighting by taking no damage whatsoever, or even going ranked. I recommend you do some 1v1s, then practice this in rank. You just want to practice fighting people, trying to take absolutely zero damage, making no mistakes. And I promise you, by learning to fight, taking no damage, what you're doing is learning to fight without making any mistakes at all. And for most people, you're going to have to slow down your playstyle for this, and this is exactly what we want. And in the long term, you're going to see some massive improvements in your ability to dominate fights. But it's not just the dominating fights is going to help you, it's going to help you finish fights quicker. Because I know so many people this season are struggling with third parties. And if you can dominate fights and make little to no mistakes, you're not just going to win more fights, you're going to finish fights quicker, and you're going to get third partied a lot less. Now, most people always ask me the question of what's the best game mode to play if you want to rank up quickly? And I feel like it's been like this for a while now. There isn't really a best game mode. Obviously, you see all the pro players or all the top tier rank players who are number like 10 or 20 in the world, whatever they are, in squads. Because in squads, you can get the most kills, but I say the best game mode is the one you can be most consistent. We've talked about how important consistency is, and if you have a really good squad, and you're going to be consistently dropping high kill games, you're going to be winning off spawn, then without a doubt, you've got to be playing squads. You've got the highest potential for kills, and it's debatably the easiest game mode to play out of all of them. But if you die like 5-6 times to drop a decent kill game, then it's probably not the best, because consistency is key. In which case, the next best is probably duos. This is a personal favourite of mine at the moment, and the players are not as sweaty as solos, and it's not as carnage as squads. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. So if you have a really good duo that is the same skill level, or maybe it's even better than you, then 100% run up them duos. And again, just play for that consistency. This is key here for getting us out of our rank. If you have a friend that's like really bad though, and you're just consistently dying, and you're just going to die over and over again, you're losing loads of points, then solos probably is your best bet. Don't get me wrong, I'm a massive advocate for solos, and I really enjoy playing solos, and it's one of, if not the best way to improve at the game. But it is also the sweatiest, so just keep that in mind. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video. Please like, comment and subscribe, and if you enjoyed this video, you may also like this video on screen now.